I never imagined that the hardest goodbye of my life would come from someone who promised they would never leave me. If you had asked me a year ago whether I trusted my wife, I would have smiled without hesitation. I believed love was built on honesty, loyalty, and the little moments that make a house feel like home. I was wrong. Looking back now, I realized the truth had been hiding in front of me all along. It all started on a rainy Thursday evening. My wife, Emma, had gone to visit her sister for the weekend. I stayed home to finish some office work. My laptop suddenly stopped working, so I remembered she had borrowed mine a few days earlier. I picked up her tablet instead, planning to log into my email. As soon as I unlocked it, a notification appeared on the screen. It wasn't meant for me. It was a message that simply read, "I missed last night already." My heart skipped a beat. I tried convincing myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe it was from a friend. Maybe I was overthinking. But something inside me whispered that I needed to know the truth. I opened the messages, and in a matter of seconds, the life I believed I had built collapsed into pieces. There were hundreds of conversations filled with secret plans, affectionate words, and pictures that no husband should ever have to see. The person on the other side wasn't a stranger. It was Daniel, someone I had treated like family for nearly 10 years. We celebrated birthdays together, spent holidays together, and I had trusted him with the keys to my house. I felt sick. I couldn't cry. I couldn't scream. I simply stared at the screen while every memory I had ever cherished suddenly felt fake. I wanted to call Emma immediately, but I stopped myself. Anger makes people reckless, and I refused to let my pain make me lose control. Instead, I quietly took screenshots of every conversation and saved them on a secure drive. I locked the tablet exactly where I had found it and spent the rest of the night sitting alone in silence. Over the next week, I acted exactly as I always had. I kissed Emma goodbye every morning before work. I asked about her day. I laughed at her jokes even when my heart was breaking. She never suspected that I already knew everything. During those days, I wasn't planning revenge. I was preparing my escape. I met with an attorney, organized my finances legally, gathered important documents, and found a small apartment across town. Every signature I placed on those papers felt like closing another chapter of the life I thought I would have forever. One evening, Emma excitedly suggested that we host a dinner for a few close friends, including Daniel. She smiled while making the guest list, completely unaware that the truth was already sitting between us. I agreed without hesitation because I had already decided that night would be the end of every lie. Saturday arrived. Everyone laughed around the dinner table. Glasses clinked together. Stories filled the room. Daniel joked about our old adventures, and Emma looked at him just a little too carefully whenever she thought I wasn't watching. After dinner, I thanked everyone for coming and told them I had prepared a short slideshow of our favorite memories from the past decade. The lights dimmed. Family vacations appeared on the television. Birthday celebrations. Weddings. Smiling faces. Then the screen went black. A few seconds later, screenshots of the secret messages appeared one after another. No dramatic music. No shouting. Just silence. Emma's smile disappeared instantly. Daniel looked like all the color had drained from his face. Nobody spoke. Every person in that room understood exactly what they were seeing. Finally, I broke the silence. Trust, I said quietly, is the one thing you never realize is priceless until someone decides to sell it for a moment of excitement. Emma burst into tears and begged me to listen. Daniel tried to apologize, claiming it had only happened a few times. Their excuses sounded empty. They weren't sorry for what they had done. They were sorry that the truth had finally caught up with them. I calmly placed a folder on the coffee table. Inside were divorce papers, copies of our financial agreements, and a handwritten letter I had spent days writing. I looked at Emma one final time and said, "The person I loved would never have done this. Whoever you became. I don't know her anymore." I picked up my suitcase and walked toward the front door. Behind me, I could hear crying, apologies, and promises that everything could still be fixed. But some things don't break loudly. They break forever. The weeks that followed were painful. There were lonely mornings, sleepless nights, and countless moments when I questioned whether I had wasted years of my life. But slowly, something unexpected happened. The pain began to fade, replaced by peace. I started hiking every weekend, reconnected with old friends, and learned that healing doesn't happen all at once. It happens one quiet day at a time. Months later, I heard that Emma and Daniel's relationship had fallen apart almost as quickly as it had begun. The excitement they had risked everything for couldn't survive the weight of guilt and broken trust. By then, their story no longer mattered to me. Mine did. One afternoon, while watching the sunset from a hill overlooking the city, I realized something that changed everything. Betrayal had taken away my past, but it didn't have the power to decide my future. That choice still belonged to me. I smiled for the first time in months, not because I had forgotten the pain, but because I had survived it. Life doesn't always reward good people with easy endings, but it gives them something even more valuable, the chance to begin again. And sometimes, the strongest person isn't the one who gets revenge. It's the one who quietly walks away, rebuilds their life, and never looks back.